All right, we are making this video actually for an audience of one. We're making it especially for CopperbopKidd. CopperbopKidd. Uh, for those who don't know, we also stream on an alternate platform. I'm not going to say the name here on this video uploaded to YouTube. Let me close that. Hang on a second. Yeah, he earned 100,000 streaming points or follower points by watching and collecting bitcoins in the stream. Very, very much appreciative of that. So I wanted to do a very quick video for CopperbopKidd. I'm going to be his trade monkey. The very next trade that I enter is going to be his, and whatever we make in it is going to be his. So I wanted to be very upfront with it, very transparent. We have this stock poker trade account. We started it with $2,000. Knock on corn, knock on Bitcoin. We never had to reload it. We've given away over $30,000 already. So this is for CopperbopKidd. I'm going to just kind of go over briefly what I am looking at and hopefully what I could catch for you. There's no guarantees that this is going to happen, but my very next trade that I enter is going to be for you, buddy. So just kindly broadly overall, we're out here on the daily schedule. After our last dump, we kind of jumped into this yet another accumulation zone. You know, you had your selling climax, your automatic reaction, your secondary test. You kind of had a low volume climb up here to kind of recapture this candle. We didn't get there was really no preliminary support zone unless you count the previous accumulation zone as a preliminary support area. We had a low volume decline, then a low volume upthrust that failed back to the bottom. Then we had yet another climb, low volume climb, FTX dump, super sign of weakness, super sell off, finding a new bottom, double bottom. Along the way we picked up this anti-Gartley and some other ciphers that were pushing us up to this point here, hit it beautifully, and now the top is kind of sorting itself out here too. So I believe we're in a much larger accumulation zone, and we need to retest these lows down here around the 16,500 area, 16,300 area, potentially all the way down to 15,500. So let's go ahead and zoom in here on the top real quick, Copper, and let me show you how I see the top of this range kind of sorting itself out. So let's go down to the 6-hour time frame and let's make this a little bit clearer for you. Let me hide some of these things. So as this top has kind of sorted itself out, and I could draw a number of other harmonics and make this even look more like a big plate of spaghetti. But let me turn off a few of these. And actually, let me just turn them all off here. So as this top has been sorting itself out, you could see here quite clearly that there has been a steady decline in the volume. I mean, it has its peaks and valleys. But overall, the trend is that it is a declining volume, meaning there's less and less buyers and sellers willing to meet and exchange Bitcoin at the current price level. And looking at the MDX, I could look at any number of other indicators as well. I happen to really like the MDX Algo indicators. But if you wanted me to look at anything else, other kind of indicators, I certainly will. If you could see here, let's go ahead and open up the the Algo 5. You can see here on the money flow, that green mountain right there. It's really been the highest it's ever been in months, if not ever. But it looks like we're crossing over here on the daily, where there was a rush to get money in there, and we're on a strong descent channel right now. And then here on the Algo 4, this has quite literally been the highest it's ever been in the history of Bitcoin. So it does need to take out some gas. This is here on the larger time frames, on the 6 hour, the 12 hour, kind of the same. There's plenty of room to the downside, plenty of room down on the downside. But let's go ahead and take a look at, like, say, the 4 hour. So we're going to zoom in a little bit more, and you can see here, a definite downtrend, and I'm a little bit nervous here because we do have this divergence, and everything does seem a bit overcooked. Whether we take the money flow, the green humps, and then right down there across the red humps, and then similarly too, we could draw a similar line here on the indicator itself, where it's a definite downtrend, and it looks like it's coming up here on these lower time frames. On the higher time frames, of course, there's plenty of room to the downside. Now, usually when I see this, it's usually, to me, some sideways action. Overall, we're going to come down. The higher time frames demand it at some point. Those higher time frames, and it might be a week from now or a month from now. And I don't always get this right, but the shorter time frames are also demanding to let some steam off. Like they want to climb. So overall, it's picture the larger time frames as the seasons of the year. Spring, summer, fall, winter. We're currently in the larger time frames. We're currently in winter, right? So we're in winter and it's cold. The smaller time frames, you could think of those depending on whether you're looking at the 4 hour, the 1 hour. It's like the month or the week or the day. The smaller time frames are showing that, it's unexpectedly warm here for February, and that's what we're looking at here on some of the lower time frames. That we have a warm spell coming in. But eventually, we're in winter, and we know it's going to get cold again. So I am thinking that price is going to range a little bit and perhaps even come up. So where might it come up to? I drew this potential neckline, and I suspect a lot of these other YouTubers will be drawing the same line. We drew it and posted it in the not the Stock Poker Discord channel, but we posted it into the MDX Discord channel. That's where I primarily go and learn from other traders and post some of my potential trade setups. But I suspect all the O faces on YouTube are probably drawing this similar channel. They're probably lurking over in MDX's Discord channel looking for ideas, and then they just poach them. Yeah, so I think that we're going to form, and I think I called this out a few days ago, actually, that even before this downslide, was that we're going to hit this downslide. I actually predicted a little bit lower than what it got caught up on, but that's fine. But we have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Before actually we as soon as we tapped this line, I drew two boxes actually. This was the second box that or zone that I was predicting to where we might potentially just range within. And if we just pull a quick fib from the top here of the break to even the bottom of the wick. So the 0.5, the 382, we don't really want this price to increase with a lot of conjecture, with a lot of vigor. We really want it to just either bounce off the 382 or the 0.5, and I'm really hoping for some kind of wave action or some kind of a price motion in here, and then catch some. I'm hoping to catch some wicks right here for you, and then take a plunge down. And even if we just continue the range within this box, then that is still a good trade. That'd be still really good. What I'm hoping is going to happen, though, is that we could catch this, and it comes off of our neckline, potential retrace, and then drops down. That would be the unicorn trade. So I wanted to do just a quick video. I was thinking I was going to enter the trade live, but sometimes the price action just doesn't follow. So between tonight, tomorrow night, I'm going to be looking to enter into a trade up here around the 22,300, 22,500 area, and with the hopes that we either just range here, and let's put a ruler on that. If we just catch a trade here, I mean that's a 2.5% move. Even if we can just catch that, that would be phenomenal. If it drops even further and gets caught up in this liquidity zone, or gets caught up, with all this, stranded shorts and longs that are in this area, even if it just comes down to here, that's a 5.9% move. Hopefully, though, it crashes down even lower. So I'm going to enter the trade. I don't suspect I'm going to be able to do it live just because Bitcoin doesn't march to our clock. It marches to its own clock. But the next trade that I enter in the Stock Poker trade account is going to be yours. And yeah, so I just wanted to do a pre-video with what I'm hoping is going to happen. And I think this is going to be a good setup. And thank you so much for watching us on that other platform and collecting all the corn that you did. I am super appreciative of it. This is what I'm hoping is going to happen. And just quickly here on the MDX oscillators, down here on like say here on the 4 hour, what I am hoping is going to happen is that as price kind of sorts itself out in this range that we're in right now, that the oscillator kind of comes up, just doesn't find its legs, and perhaps it might spike up again, and maybe hopefully we pick up some kind of divergence even here on the 4 hour. But if not the 4 hour, perhaps the 1 hour or the 30-minute. And then similarly here that we, on the oscillator 4, hopefully that picks up. Just doesn't have the juice, maybe ranges a little bit, and then comes back down and tests that. Something like that. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen for you. I am hoping the very best. I hope I get this right for you. And again, thank you so much for, following along, and thank you so much for being a mod, and I really appreciate that. And so let me post this real quick. This is what I want, and yeah, and we'll see how it comes out. So thank you again, buddy. You're the best.